This is Mark Cunaberti, financial columnist and host of Money Matters on about 66 stations nationwide. Thanks for joining me for the Corona Update, April 29th. Okay, 3,211,000 cases worldwide, 227,749 deaths, affecting 210 countries, 60,000 deaths in the United States. So, talking about the markets in just a bit, let's just talk about what's going on with the virus. Um, we are seeing a multitude of states reopen at various levels of reopening, of course. There have been a lot of protests for that. I've kind of taken the opinion that the damage done from the shutdown is going to exceed the damage that would have been done from the virus itself, because the lack of testing is spiking the mortality rate. Mortality rate by the numbers is around 6.5%. But if we figure we're not testing 9 out of 10 people that may have it, the mortality rate might be somewhere in the area of 0.5%. So some of the things that are going on around the country for the virus, Gilead Sciences has a drug that is highly significant, calls Dr. Fauci. That's the gentleman that you see on television all the time. The drug is called remdesivir, and they are saying that it is showing a pretty good promise. So the market is running on that. Florida will reopen May 4th, and where they're talking about reopening things in stages in different states, as I mentioned before. And so we'll see how that goes. Again, I will make my forecast. You'll see 25 to 50 million people unemployed, unfortunately. We're going to see 25 million mortgage defaults. 25% of the small businesses in the United States will probably go under. So the effect of shutting down is going to be unprecedented. Just out from Russia, the coronavirus outbreak in Russia is getting bad. It looks like they have 100,000 confirmed cases and nearly 1,000 deaths, so we can hope that they get it under control there. President Trump signed an executive order compelling meat processing plants to reopen. As you've probably seen on the news, they are one of the highest concentrations of the pandemic in meat processing plants because they're all slammed together in the way they work. And so we were seeing meat shortages. We're seeing shelves without meat. Shelves are very shortage of meat, and so President Trump has said you have to go back to work. We don't know how many people actually will. So that on the market side, by the way, was making the non-meat burger companies shoot up in value. So there you go there. David Powell, the Federal Reserve Chief, said he'll keep interest rates at zero and do what he can for the economy to support it during the COVID shutdown. So again, this is just an ongoing problem. We're seeing massive unemployment. The government is coming up with all sorts of stimulus programs to try to help. They've got the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, that is giving loans that may not be able to be paid back, may not have to be paid back if you keep your workers or rehire your workers. And we're seeing unemployment regulations laxed, as well as heavy additional payments. Not only do you get unemployment, you get $600 a week in a bonus, $600 a week in a bonus. Qualifications have been dropped or reduced. I think there's going to be very little oversight. They basically want to get as much money out there as they can. And now they're talking about a flat payment to businesses under $1 million. That has not been passed yet. They're going to take businesses with gross revenues under $1 million and give you 30% of your revenues in a check, only up to $75,000. So if you have $1 million in gross revenues, 30% of that is $300,000. But they're not going to give you $300,000. They're only going to give you $75,000. If you have a $200,000 business, 30% of that is $60,000. They'd give you that in a check. So they'll give you up to $75,000. And they're talking about just handing you the check. They're keeping the revenues under $1 million because a lot of companies applied for the Paycheck Protection Plan that were very, very large companies, Ruth Chris and some other companies that people made us think about. And so some of those companies have actually given the money back. The Dow up another 500 today. The disconnect is indeed surprising and a little bit disturbing. Dow high was 29,500 and change. The recent low, 18,300. It sits at 24,633. That's up about 8,000 points and only about 5,000 points from the high. A V-shaped recovery would be went from 29,000 down to the low and then back up immediately, which is what it looks like now. I personally think it won't be a V-shaped recovery. We usually see some of these things go down and then they go up about halfway from where they were, and then they'll retest about halfway of that gain. So, in my opinion, we'll probably see the Dow may run another 500 to 1,000 points, but in my opinion, they're going to see a little bit of retest. You could see back down to the 21,000 level, down to the 20,000 level. So be very careful in adding new money there. We all know about the oil crash, energy crash. Oil stocks actually have been going up since that crash, unbelievably. So we'll see what happens there. And other than that, it's an unprecedented problem, unprecedented things taking place. First quarter earnings are rolling in. Remember, first quarter only includes March. That was a bad month. January and February were fine. So second quarter is going to include April, May, and June. So I think second quarter is going to be a lot worse. Second quarter earnings is going to be a lot worse. A lot of companies reporting this week. One notable company reporting today was Microsoft, and they actually beat earnings because of their cloud-based services. And we're seeing a lot of these cloud-based companies, video conferencing companies, going up very high in price. So market's kind of all over. Be careful putting new money in this market. Always trade carefully. And YouTube channel is Mark Cunaberti. Website is moneymanagementradio.com. Both of those are no charge. My way of saying thank you for tuning in. Okay, we'll talk to you next time. Maybe daily, maybe every other day, but I'll keep you abreast of the markets and the virus. Thanks for listening. And if you want to send me an email, you can do so at news@moneymanagementradio.com. Be safe.